everybody. Good afternoon. It is 1:55 here, 1:55 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for like 30 minutes to an hour. I really don't know. We'll see, man. Just got my daughter down for a little afternoon nap, so I got about 2 hours to kill, and let's kill some time together, shall we? I've been out of town a lot lately. I was out of town for like 5 days up in Chicago. Oh, one sec.
Today, Rise of Skywalker, not the worst. Does some things better than the prequels, but I got no love for it. I've grown nostalgic for PT. Hope everything is good. Greedo.
I feel like we're pretty similar in our opinions there, Vince. Give me one sec, man, but I appreciate that channel support this afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I've been out of town a lot lately. Basically 2 weekends back to back. Out of town for about 5 days in Chicago for my buddy's wedding. And then I was out of town for about 4 days in Ohio for my cousin's wedding this past weekend. So, yeah, just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Haven't really done much on the channel in about 3 weeks or so. A few streams here and there, maybe one video. That's how it goes nowadays, right? But welcome, guys. Good to see ya. Some familiar faces. Some new faces I've never seen before. But Vince coming in with the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Vince says, "Who boy, we gonna fight today?" LOL. Nah, this is all, you know this channel's vibe, man. We'll defend what we love. We'll shit on what we don't love, but it's all in good fun, right? Rise of Skywalker, Vince says, "Not the worst. Does some things better than the prequels, but I got no love for it. I've grown nostalgic for the PT. Hope everything is good, Greedo." Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies for sure. The thing that kind of doesn't fully redeem it for me, but the thing that I enjoy out of it more than anything else is the Rey and Kylo relationship. I think that was carried over nicely from The Last Jedi. I think in The Last Jedi, I love their relationship, their Force connection. I thought it was, every Star Wars movie ever made introduces new, like, whatever you want to call them, fucking Force powers. Is that what you want to call them? Sure, let's call them Force powers. And that was, you see a new side of the Force. And I thought the way the Force was handled in The Last Jedi was probably one of the deeper, other than The Empire Strikes Back, one of the more deeper aspects, at least peering into what the Force is out of any other movie. Maybe other than Empire, But yeah, The Rise of Skywalker is just kind of there for me. It's whatever. I don't have much of a desire to watch it. I would rather watch The Phantom Menace than The Rise of Skywalker, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I've grown not necessarily nostalgic for the prequels themselves. I've grown nostalgic for the time period, the build-up, especially of The Phantom Menace, I was 13 when The Phantom Menace came out. Kind of rode that wave of, holy hell, we're getting new Star Wars movies, And I'm very nostalgic for that time period. I still have a lot of Star Wars toys from that time. Being 13, a lot of things that you surrounded yourself with. I don't know how I don't know how old a lot of you guys are, but when you get to be 35 like me, you'll look back at the time when you were 13 and you go, "Oh man, yeah, it was fun." Throwing pine cones at forts or watching The Phantom Menace in the movie theater. That was a good time, right? It was a good time. But anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. Everything is going well. It's nice to be back in town for sure. And Sapity and Caleb, thank you guys so much as well. Sapity says, "TLJ, sad to say, but this film is a struggle for me. Both TFA and The Rise of Skywalker are more enjoyable to me. TLJ feels like a chore rather than entertainment." I'm the complete not the complete opposite. My two favorite movies of the sequel era, Disney era Star Wars, are The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi for different reasons. The Rise of Skywalker is just kind of like a forgettable, almost nothing to me. I hate to say it, but that's the thing, Sapity, right? That's the thing. Like, my view of Star Wars right now isn't all that different than my view of Star Wars back in the day, like in 2005, 2006, hell, even earlier than that, after The Phantom Menace, right? back in the day, you know, I liked some Star Wars and I didn't like some Star Wars. Fucking guess what? I like some Star Wars now and I don't like some Star Wars. So, you know, not much has changed. Oh, one sec.
I did like Jinaso and her dad. Kate Uso was funny and seeing Tarkin was cool. I felt like the Darth Vader was shoved in. I was mainly bored.
Nathan, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. That's fucking stupid, Steven Stefan. That's dumb. That's dumb. You're either 15 years old or an idiot. That's a stupid way to look at this stuff. That kind of dumb bullshit mentality has no place in this chat. Welcome to the channel. But Sapity, yeah, I mean, you're definitely not alone in that opinion, right? But for me, the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are my favorite of this kind of modern Star Wars era, I suppose. TLJ, just because it offered up something new and different. I liked the way Luke Skywalker was handled. You know, Luke Skywalker, I'm an OT kid. All-time favorite character maybe in the history of anything, ever. Yeah, so, yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, you're not alone in that opinion, right? You say it feels like a chore rather than entertainment. Man, that's tough. Like, watch The Empire Strikes Back. I feel like they're very tonally similar, you know. Do you feel the same way about Empire? I don't know. Interesting. But anyway, Sapity, I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, The Force Awakens, I thoroughly love that movie just because it is kind of a welcome home message. You know, welcome home. Well, I guess Han literally says that in the movie. But Chewie, we're home. But yeah, it just felt like a nice way to jump back into the franchise after being so long, or gone for so long. And, you know, people of my generation, what's really fascinating to me is seeing how a lot of prequel era fans don't like the newer stuff. In my generation, back in older, I suppose, when the prequel era came around, my generation, you know, the fans of the original trilogy, holy fucking shit. The general consensus online and forums on Yahoo, on AOL, and wherever you went on the internet, yikes. Even in comic shops, yikes. But, yeah, man. I appreciate it. It's just really interesting to me to see the ebb and flow. Like, I have to be honest. Like, I appreciate everybody's opinion. Cool, man. You like what you like. You don't like what you don't like. You know, whatever. Sapity, you've been around this channel forever. We don't see eye to eye on TLJ, yet it's civil, and we both kind of have like a shrug of the shoulders. You like what you like. You don't like what you don't like, right? But I have to admit, it is weird as shit growing up and being a part of the prequel discourse and seeing so many people just the general consensus, the overwhelming, you know, percentage of people at least that had a voice on the internet or walked into comic shops on their own without holding their parents' hand. You know, everybody was shitting all over those movies. And it's so weird to me to see prequel fans shitting all over the newer stuff or even shitting all over the OT. It's so weird to me. I understand everybody's different. And all of our opinions are different, but it's weird. It's weird. I guess that means I'm old. But I appreciate that, Sapity, man. Caleb Kemp, thank you so much. And Nathan, good to see you both. Caleb says, Attack of the Clones, the switch between Detective Kenobi and the romance kills the pacing. PS, all-day stream win. Got this past Wednesday off for it. Yeah, that actually fell through because I wasn't able to get a babysitter. So I was my daughter's babysitter all day Wednesday. Normally, my parents babysit on Wednesdays, but we all got back in town on Tuesday night. So I was like, let me watch my daughter. You know, I didn't want them to be exhausted babysitting. They had helped out so much on the trip. So, yeah. I'm thinking probably if I can swing, it'll be like a last minute decision, Caleb. But the all day live stream will probably be next Wednesday, October 20th. I'll give you a heads up, maybe a day or two before, but yeah, that's the plan as of right now. The all-day live stream will just basically be like a 10-year celebration of the channel. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll watch some old HelloGreedo videos. We'll play some video games. It'll be a good time, man. Probably from like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll just sit here and stream. But yeah, Caleb, I have to say Attack of the Clones is probably my least favorite as well. Granted, I haven't seen it in so long. Well, the last time that I watched it was probably early 2015. Kind of building up to The Force Awakens, building up to new Star Wars. Just kind of going through and watching everything. And I don't think if I went back and watched it, I don't think much it would change, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I'm with you there, Caleb. And Nathan Pelka, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. Nathan, oh yeah, go Braves, everybody. I don't know if I'm wearing a Braves shirt. I've been a Braves fan since I lived in Atlanta in like 1991. And it's good to see them in the NLCS and potentially the World Series. All right, if you guys want to talk about that, I'm an open book. Go Braves. Nathan Pelka says, I feel like Rogue One was pretty lame. I didn't care for Andor, Krennic, Saul. I did like Jen and her dad. K2SO was funny, and seeing Tarkin was cool. I felt like the Darth Vader was shoved in. I was mainly bored. Yeah, Nathan, Rogue One is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies as well. Just because I'm saying it's a least favorite Star Wars movie doesn't mean that like I hate it or anything, That's kind of what happens on the internet if somebody says, yeah, it's one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. HelloGreedo hates it. No, I don't hate it. But yeah, it's just kind of meh. I don't know. I understand that people love that ending, and absolutely, it's a giant slip and slide of excitement, right? But overall, I was kind of bored with it. I wasn't really all that invested in the characters. It like any movie, like any story, it has its hits and things that I really like about it. But yeah, man, overall, it was okay. It's really interesting to me. Rogue One is kind of a really interesting thing for me to look at, because so many people, and this is a broad brushstroke, this is a generalization, but it's almost like the people who really don't like The Last Jedi really, really like Rogue One. And the people that aren't really that big of fans of Rogue One oftentimes like The Last Jedi. That's a big, having this channel, seeing the opinions come across my screen constantly, if I had to kind of boil it down into broad brushstrokes generalizations, that is a very common theme in what I see. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. But yeah, Nathan, there's I really liked K2SO. Alan Tudyk did a good job, and I thought my favorite character in the whole movie was I mentioned him all the Chirrut Imwe. I thought his character was interesting. I thought his character, had a different take on the Force. He was a believer. There was at least layers there to kind of explore it. There was some depth there, I thought. For the most part, everybody else kind of fell flat for me. I'm not that excited for the Andor show. Yeah, Tarkin, whatever, cool. Darth Vader, Monster Man in the hallway. It's exciting, right? But other than the last, 20, 30 minutes, it was all right. Yeah, just meh, whatever. But I appreciate that generous super chat channel support. There, Nathan. Hope you're doing well, man. Um, that's fine, man. We all have our own headcanon, right? You can hate, you can love, you can like it all, you can not like bits and pieces. That's fine. The return of Darth Cadus. But seeing you say that, this guy says, Greedo, I'm sorry, I hate the sequel trilogy, but I can't accept it as canon. That's fine, man. There were millions of people of my generation who said the same exact thing as about the prequels. And I think not accepting things as canon or whatever, I know, it's kind of goofy and taking things a little too serious. You know what I mean? I'm not accepting that as canon. Okay, fine. Cool, man. Rad. Stuart Lugston, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Stuart says, what's your opinion on George's sequel trilogy? I know you made a video, but I'm too lazy to put it into search. I would have loved to see it. At least the thing is, and it's been a while since I've looked into this or read his comments or looked into it. He's done multiple interviews. One was with James Cameron. It seems like some of these ideas are very, very different from one another. If you read one interview, he's talking about characters and female leads and blah 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 blah. And another character, he's talking about like the microscopic world and midichlorians and diving into that. The world of the microscopic Star Wars universe, right? It's interesting. I would love more George Lucas Star Wars. I think I've always said that I want Star Wars to get weird, you know, man. And a lot of the ideas that George Lucas has kind of thrown out there as what he would have done in the sequel trilogy, maybe it's a little more weird in my head than what would have actually happened on screen. But in my head, when I think of the the things that he says about like the microscopic
The of kids at Galaxy's Edge interacting with their generation's characters made me let go of any ill feelings I have for the new movies. The look on their faces, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure, Vince. Absolutely. Give me one sec, man. Give me one sec. But yeah, Stuart, like, I would love, if not, movies, I would love, I would love for them to be like, not comics. I'm not a comic guy, but like if George Lucas was to write a sequel trilogy novels, and almost like alternate timeline or what, shit, even movies. Who gives a damn, right? You can have alternate timeline movies. I'm not taking this shit that serious, god damn it. If I want a video game that is just outright fun, I don't have like such a desire for everything to like strictly adhere to canon. I'm more of a fun guy, so like if George Lucas ever did like a sequel trilogy movie, whatever, who gives a shit? Yeah, it'd be fun, right? Is it canon? I don't care. God damn it. I think as I get older, I don't take this shit all that serious, and I just kind of want to have fun with things, right? But is it canon? I don't want to stop. Anyway, I appreciate that, Stuart. Ty Brute, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Ty says, hey, HG, I've said it before, but I'll take the stiffest, clunky dialogue from the prequels over The Rise of Skywalker. Try too hard to undo TLJ, I think. My biggest problem with The Rise of Skywalker wasn't necessarily what, if you want to call it, undoing. Maybe undoing is the wrong word. Maybe that was the natural progression of the story. Things are down, things are drab, things are questionable, people are downtrodden, our heroes aren't squeaky clean. It's kind of fun to see a movie like that, a middle act like that. So I don't know if necessarily undoing is the right word, but I in terms of Star Wars order. I actually made a video recently about my Star Wars rankings. I put The Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith over The Rise of Skywalker in my rank. I just feel like The Rise of Skywalker felt very, I don't know, very soulless to me. Other than the Rey and Kylo relationship, I thought that was handled well. The events around that relationship, starting with Palpatine being back, I beat that horse and it's long dead and it's underground now. But it's one of my least favorite decisions and story points in the entire. It probably is my least favorite thing in any Star Wars ever. The idea of that Palpatine being back and just kind of how, to me at least, how hamstrung how shoved in it felt. That's just me. I know people love it, but that's just me. But anyway, I appreciate that, Ty. Caleb, Caretaker, Vince, and Miguel. Caleb says, fair dad things, YouTube things for sure. Hope to be there for next Wednesday. My computer is in kind of rough shape for some reason right now, but I could probably play Battlefront 2 for a bit if that's still in the cards. Yes, absolutely. If next Wednesday's all-day live stream happens, which as of right now I think it will, I'll text my parents later this afternoon and see if they're going to be able to babysit next Wednesday. But if it does happen, Battlefront 2 will absolutely be... I'll probably end up playing it for 30 minutes to an hour out of the day, But, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Caleb, that's kind of that's why... Caleb, you can't see it right now, but Caleb said dad things greater than YouTube things for sure. Just because I wasn't able to do the all-day live stream on the 13th, which I said. And that's the reason I rarely, if ever, plan things, just because, being a dad, fighter stuff, life things, family stuff. It's very hard for me to say I will be streaming this day, this hour, for this duration, because I would say more times than not, when I have done that, I have to cancel, and that's why I rarely, if ever, plan anything. It's usually just me. Oh shit, I have an hour to kill. All right, I'm gonna hop on and do a live stream. So yeah, that's why I know people have wanted me to schedule things. I wish I could more often, but it's really hard for me to, stick to a schedule because my life isn't all that scheduled as of right now. But yeah, anyway, once I get on the 24-48 hour shift at a department and solidify things a little more than they are now, I think I'll have more time to devote to scheduling. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Caleb. Cheers, man. Caretaker Wanted, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Caretaker Wanted says, hey, HG, I recently passed the 100 sub mark for the channel. Thank you for giving me and others inspiration to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, it's fun, man. Anybody should start one, right? Anybody and everybody should start one because first and foremost, it should be fun. If it's not fun, if you're, constantly just arguing and I don't know, using YouTube as a place to rile up people and get angry, then don't do it. Then stay off. But yeah, if you're having fun, man, if you're talking about stuff you love, if you're getting enjoyment out of and YouTube isn't raising your blood pressure, then have at it, man. It's a really fun ride. Caretaker, I remember when I got my first one, when I hit the 100 subscriber mark. Let me look that up. 100 subscribe. I made a video about it. Subscribers, HelloGreedo. January of 2012. Oh, nice. Okay, so here's my 100 subscriber video. I just posted it. There we go. Yeah, I just posted my 100 subscriber video from January 6th, 2012. Coming up on 10 years. What's funny is that I started the channel in September of 2011. And from September, October, November, December, January, 5 months. It took me 5 months to get 100 subscribers. 5 months. It's a long time. So that just goes to show, if like you're starting out, it's hard to get subscribers, man. Don't get discouraged. You should first and foremost be having fun. That's all that matters, man. Having fun. It doesn't matter if you have 5 subscribers or 5 million. If you're not having fun and this feels like a chore, then go hands off. You have to. Then there's no point in doing it, right? That's why I've always said that the way I do YouTube, to me at least, is very healthy. I maybe upload a video a month, maybe 2 videos a month. It used to be a lot more, just kind of building up to Star Wars movies and stuff. But even then, I've made like 930 videos in 10 years, not counting live streams. That's not much. And I feel that's a healthy way for me to do YouTube, because if I don't have something to say, I'm not going to make a video. It's just me, man. Like, I've never wanted this thing to feel like a chore. It's always been just kind of like a fun, a fun little side gig, a fun little project. That's the way that I do it. And it's healthy for me. It's a healthy way to do YouTube. I can't imagine pumping out a video every single day about topics that I would be so sick of talking about. Culture war bullshit. Can you fucking imagine pumping out culture war type videos every single day? Bitching and moaning about nothing. You're a man. Shut the fuck up. Who gives a shit about what Brie Larson says? Holy fuck. I'm glad I'm not like that. Anyway, Caretaker, enjoy the ride, man. Have fun with it. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Vince says, the vids of kids at Galaxy's Edge interacting with their generation's characters made me let go of any ill feelings I have for the new movies. The look on their faces, that's what it's all about. Absolutely. That is what it's all about, man. I like, one of my favorite things to do, and you know this, Vince, is to go back and look at some of the Internet Archive stuff, especially from like the force.net forums, you know? And looking at like when, I think the last time I did this, I looked at when the Clone Wars premiered. I looked at like the first season of the Clone Wars around that time frame, and I kind of dabbled in the forums looking back from the perspective of nowadays. 2021, looking back at 2008, the forums on the force.net. People were bitching and moaning about Ahsoka. People were calling Ahsoka a Mary Sue back then. The same verbiage, the same language that we hear now was kind of thrown around back then as well to different characters that are kind of beloved nowadays, right? So, like, those characters kind of felt the brunt of the bullshit too. Yet there were people, kids primarily back then, that loved those characters, right? So that is what it's all about. People can bitch and moan about things, but give it 10, 15, 20 years, the kids that loved the thing back then will grow up and have a voice on the internet and defend what they loved back then now. So yeah, that's what it's all about, Vince. Watching the kids, Galaxy's Edge, absolutely. Interacting. I wish we had something like that back in the day. Can you imagine being back in the day when I was like 8, 9, 10, going to an amusement park with characters that I love? Would be mind-blowing. But anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. Cheers, man. And Miguel Mora, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Miguel says, Attack of the Clones is my least favorite. The execution of the movie overall was weak and didn't add any importance to the franchise. Dodgers in 5. How dare you? Braves in 4. Braves in 4. Miguel, it'll be exciting, man. I'm so excited. Braves back in the NLCS. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Like I said, I've been a Braves fan. I used to live in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta when I was 5, I think. So it was like 1990 or 1991 is when I moved to Atlanta. And ever since then, I've been a Braves fan. I have a Sid Bream jersey in my closet. Yeah, go Braves. But yeah, Miguel, my least favorite Star Wars movie is Attack of the Clones as well. You know, my Star Wars ranking is... I made a video about it recently. Maybe a couple weeks ago. But yeah, the Attack of the Clones is my least favorite. Not counting the Clone Wars movie. Whenever I do a ranking, I generally don't count that. Just because, I don't know, I don't really think of it. I don't know, but yeah. I haven't seen Attack of the Clones since like early 2015, you know, in the build up to The Force Awakens. But I'm sure if I watched it nowadays, not much would change, Miguel. It's a pretty forgettable flick to me. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And I also get aspects of it and Revenge of the Sith mixed up for whatever reason. Yeah, for whatever reason, like certain action sequences and stuff like that blend together. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I'm with you, Miguel. It's my least favorite. I would say by far, but it's not a by far situation. The Rise of Skywalker is pretty low on my list as well, as is Rogue One. In terms of Star Wars movies that, when I watch them, I like them more and more, is Solo. Solo is the Star Wars movie, maybe more than any other, that I didn't really care for when I first saw it. I mean, it was fun, you know, but overall, it was a Star Wars movie that just kind of felt like a checklist to me. You know, everything that we already knew about Han Solo jammed into a 2-hour movie. You know, Han wins the Falcon, Han plays Sabacc, Han meets Lando, Han meets Chewie. Han wins the Falcon, Han does the Kessel Run. Han has the die. Han shoots first. It's just like a bunch of stuff we already know about Han Solo. A checklist thrown into the movie. But like, since it came out and after subsequent viewings, it's the Star Wars movie that kind of builds on itself for me in terms of my enjoyment, and I can kind of let go a little bit, and it's a pretty damn fun movie, you know. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Miguel. I've been a Dodgers fan since 2006. This series will be lit and hopefully a good one. I recently saw it with my girlfriend. First time seeing it, and I hate it even more. Nice, man. Yeah, I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. man. We shall see. I'm sure I'll be tweeting about it. Whenever I tweet Brave stuff or Jag stuff, it gets like 5 likes on Twitter. I just fill up space. I love it. I love it. Freddy. But hell yeah, man. What's up, Johnny? Luke and TLJ is perfect. Yeah, it's really interesting to me. I'm an OT kid. I grew up watching the original trilogy. It's my Star Wars. Everything that is Star Wars is OT to me. I love Luke Skywalker. And I love Luke Skywalker in TLJ. To me, it's an important and interesting lesson. Your heroes are flawed. Your heroes are human. Your heroes can fail. Your heroes can bounce back and become legend once again. I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so deep. It's beautiful. And you know, I love Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. Who doesn't, right? Duh. It's fun. It's great. It's a breathtaking moment. But if we had that all the time, if every vision of Luke Skywalker, or every Jedi for that matter, was hacking and slashing robots and holy fuck, look at that. If every time we saw one of our heroes like that, would that not be boring as shit? To me, like, I need more depth than hacking and slashing robots. And I love it, but if every single time we saw Luke Skywalker, or any character for that matter, was something like that, dude, I would be bored senseless. Would you not be bored senseless? I mean, like, I don't want every single time a character, one of my favorite characters to pop on screen would just be swinging for the fences and kicking ass. Sometimes you got to have your characters downtrodden. Sometimes you got to have your characters flawed and failed. That's so they can be built back up. You see their humanity. I think it was beautiful. To the point, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I loved it so much. It's interesting. Yeah. But anyway. But that's just me, right? I just want some of my characters sometimes to be flawed, because it's interesting. The end of The Last Jedi is beautiful. I love it. I love it so goddamn much. I think it's one of the most interesting and I don't know, just one of it encompasses everything that a Jedi is. That ending with Luke and Kylo is beautiful. But hey, man, I'm not here to convince anybody. I thought it was one of the best sequences and scenes and handling of a character. Handling of a mythos, handling of a legend that we've had in the franchise. But hey, man, that's just me. All right, guys, that's it from me this afternoon. I don't know when the next time I stream will be. The weekend is coming up. Tomorrow, Braves play at 8 p.m. I'll be doing that. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. If I do, it'll be in the afternoon. If I don't, hey, thanks for the Twitter follow there, Miguel. If anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, it's at HelloGreedo. But all right, guys, to everybody who supported the channel, thank you so much. To everybody who just hung out in the chat, thanks for hanging out in the chat, man. But all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. Let's end this thing with a fun, upbeat song. All right, have a great weekend, guys, if I don't see you before then. All right, later. See ya!